Sit down.
Huh?
Quickly and immediately.
Okay.
Darlings, 2025 is coming to an end. Some of you may even be watching this in 2026, so enough is enough. Enough with the pleasantries, enough with the small talk. I want to teach you and show you, yes, you, young lady seated there in that couch, how to make sure your plants thrive in 2026. I'm not here to recycle things like getting a good grow light, ensuring you water properly, growing in chunky soil. All of that is necessary, but I'm sure you've heard that and you've probably done that. No, I'm here to reveal to you practical things you can do and can get that will make your plant collection thrive in 2026. Enough with the dead, dying, struggling plants. We're not about to repeat that circle in 2026, darlings. Darlings, without much ado, hope you have your coffee in hand. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Okay, first thing I want you to do is I want you to get yourself a compost bin. Yes, you heard me right. I didn't stutter. Yes, you may not be into gardening or growing vegetables and herbs, but you need a compost bin. And do you know why you need a compost bin, my love? Because this is going to free you from the mental bondage of playing hero with all your plants. That demonic mindset, it's a demonic one, yes. A compost bin will liberate you from that mindset. And in a way, I don't even entirely blame you because most of us come from well brought up homes. So the idea of letting go and throwing away plants just seems very wasteful, especially in this economy. That is where a compost bin comes in, my love. A compost bin is a win-win situation. You get to dispose of these plants without the guilty conscience, without second guessing yourself, without feeling irresponsible, without feeling wasteful, while ultimately being beneficial for the environment and curating something that you could also use to replenish your plants in the long run. What is not to love about it? That was honestly the number one game-changing thing I probably did during the start of this year. I got myself a compost bin. I didn't even know what I was doing, and I have never ever bought compost since then. And don't overthink it. Don't stress yourself. Trust me, when I got into composting, I had no idea what I was doing. My love, just get yourself a bin, poke several holes all over the body of that bin. If you can conveniently get the one that spins around. Throw your old soil, throw those plants that you don't like anymore, that aren't giving you any joy. Throw your vegetable waste into that bin. Do not dispose of plants that are pest infested. Chunk them in the trash can outside, and then occasionally spin that compost bin from time to time. Honestly, I even forget to do that half of the time. And babes, come this time next year, you have your peace of mind intact and healthy compost that you can use for your garden and even your indoor plants. So what's not to love? Another thing I don't want to absolutely hear in 2026 is that term bright indirect light. Yeah, we left it behind in 2023, and I don't want you to bring it into your life in 2026. If you're trying to figure out what light to use, where to place your plant, all of that, I want you to shut up right now and go on Amazon, go on wherever you are and get yourself a freaking light meter. And I know some of you are going to say, oh, I have a light meter in my phone. No! You're an adult, my darlings, with adult money. Get yourself an actual light meter. It is more accurate and will definitely be game-changing in your collection. Let me bring mine out. This little plastic instrument has honestly removed all form of self-doubt I get sometimes when placing plants in certain corners, because the human eye doesn't accurately capture what bright light is. We sometimes can be looking at a corner and you're like, it's bright. My plants are definitely going to do well in that corner. And then you get one of these and you realize that, oh my goodness gracious, this is darkness. So please, to clear all doubt, get yourself a light meter and then just simply place it on the direction or on the surface of the leaf of your plant that faces the light source. I'm going to see if I can find a decent one and add it to my description in this video so you can shop. Again, I'm not affiliated, I'm just helping the girlies. I'm just helping the girlies to ensure that you have a thriving plant collection in 2026. Another thing, and this one is not even so much a thing, but a mentality shift, darlings. Mentality is extremely important. Having the right mentality is extremely important in any endeavor and in any hobby. Darling, I've talked about this before, but I'm going to reiterate it. In 2026, I want you to walk into this hobby with the mentality that certain plants will be treated as cut flowers. Not every single plant has to be a heirloom plant that you pass down to your generation, to your grandchildren, and to your great-great-grandchildren. Unfortunately, I do not have my cane because some of you still need to be flogged. Some plants, you treat them as cut flowers. You bring them in your collection and enjoy them while they last. That calathea, that alocasia that has earned the reputation for being finicky. In 2026, I want you to realize that life is short, my love. Get yourself that plant, enjoy it while it lasts. Don't try to play hero. Don't try to play hero. If it starts going downhill after 3 months, that's why you have a compost bin. You see how this hobby is going to be easier for you in 2026. That's why you have a compost bin. Trash it in the compost bin and go get yourself another one and enjoy it for another 3 months. That mentality that every single plant has to be a heirloom plant has to be let go and has to be dropped in 2025. Thank you. And sometimes it may even surprise you. That was the case for me in 2025. A lot of these plants that I half expected to last just 3 months in my collection ended up pleasantly surprising me, and are even still with me as we speak. So, yeah, that mentality should be adopted. Another one that I think every single plant parent needs to get, and I've talked about this before. If you want a thriving plant collection in 2026, I want you to please stop what you're doing right now and get yourself one of these. They are extremely cheap. This costs less than a cup of that espresso you always buy every day on your way to work. Get yourself one of these transparent pots, my love. I'm so tired of the girlies lamenting to me, oh my goodness, I think my plants may be having root rot. Unfortunately, I do not have my cane with me, but I want you to stop thinking and start knowing for sure. And this will definitely make it way more convenient. You're going to look and see through and see the state of the roots of your plant, and you're going to know for sure that, okay, this plant has root rot and this plant doesn't have root rot. Therefore, I can calm down and not subject the plant to additional stress by repotting it senselessly. In 2026, I don't want to hear that I think my plant has root rot. You shouldn't think. You shouldn't think, you should know. Get yourself this, get yourself this. This will enable you accurately see the state of the roots of your plant and know whether you need to repot, know whether you need to, oh my goodness, and it costs less than a cup of espresso. So my loves, please, all that second guessing, all that subjecting your plants to unnecessary reporting, all that, oh, are you sure my plant is root bound? Oh my goodness gracious. It needs to end in 2026. If you're worried about the aesthetic look of this, because I've talked about this before on this channel, I don't particularly like this. I feel like this looks like a disposable takeaway. You can cover it with an ornamental cachet pot. We've talked about this before, okay? I don't want to repeat myself too much in this video, but please This should be part of your inventory in 2026. And I don't want to hear any one of you lament to me that I think my plant has root rot. How do I know where my plant needs to be repotted? Thank you. Sorry if I'm being too harsh on you guys, but darlings, enough is enough. 2026 is around the corner and we need to toughen up. Oh my Jesus, this one, I'm so mad at myself for not bringing my cane for this one. I've talked about this before, my American girlies, my Western girlies. This is a habit that many of you all have imbibed. And I want to believe that some of you all that have followed this page or channel for a while will have started setting yourself free from that terrible practice. Darlings, I want you to stop tampering with the roots of your plants when you repot them. Oh my goodness gracious, this is the number one thing I did this year that was absolutely game changing. And I think it is the reason why a lot of my plants this year thrived. My green thumb was thumping this year, and I suspect it's because I stopped doing this. Stop loosening, tampering, shaking, breaking apart the leaves of your plant when you want to repot them. Stop it. Stop it right now. I guarantee you, put what I'm saying to test, young lady. Put what I am saying to test. I guarantee you in 2026, if you adopt the practice of not tampering with the roots, just simply leaving the roots intact as you repot your plant and moving it to its larger pot, I strongly guarantee your collections will start to thrive. You're going to start experiencing less pest pressure. You're going to start experiencing less tantrums from these plants. You will never encounter transplant shock. That would be a thing of the past, okay? Now, it should be stated that obviously if you're dealing with stuff like root rot, or if you're moving that plant from one substrate to another, then you may have to go in there and really dig deep. But outside of that, young lady, please stop doing that. And you're going to come back and thank me later. Okay, this next one is something that is often overlooked in the plant community. Even I myself did not realize the gravity and the importance and the influence this plays, particularly in my indoor plant collection, until I got a proper one this year. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about the right, emphasis on right, the right watering can. The type of watering can you use for your indoor plants and your collection can honestly be make or break. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I have the perfectly engineered watering can right here. This little thing is beautifully engineered to ensure that you water your plants properly. Okay, I'm not necessarily saying that you need to get this specific watering can, but I want you to be conscious of how a watering can is shaped and its volume before you purchase it. Darlings, a watering can that has this sort of nozzle, oh my goodness gracious, I initially thought this was just like for aesthetic purposes, but I've come to realize that there is a great function to this. I would strongly advise you get a watering can that has an extended nozzle so you can conveniently reach, especially one that is thin. That way you can very conveniently reach all those difficult to water corners, high surfaces, tight corners, without depriving those plants there of moisture and nourishment. This has been very game changing for me because I'm the type of person that if a plant is not placed where I can conveniently water it, that plant is going to just unalive. Secondly, the size of the watering can ultimately matters. I used to dismiss watering cans that were this small and portable. I because they were so impractical. I was such a fool. Now I know better that watering cans that are this small are intentionally so, and they are perfect for your indoor plants, darlings, because they give you self-control. They give you self-control. This is a 1000 mils watering can, which I think is a 1 liter watering can, and it is perfect, especially if you're someone that is very heavy-handed when it comes to watering your plants. If you're the type of person that literally drowns your plants with water, a watering can of this size will give you self-control. Also, the fact of the matter is that human beings are lazy. By the time you have to refill this 2 or 3 times, you will quickly calm down. And that urge to keep watering and flooding your indoor plants with so much water, predisposing them to root rot, will be calmed. Now, I know if you have a large collection of plants, if you have an entire jungle, this watering can will not come in handy. I'm not speaking to you, please. I'm speaking to the girlies that have a more manageable collection of indoor plants. 1 liter or at most 1.5 liter will definitely give you the self-control required to not predispose your plants to root rot. Also, what makes this a perfect watering can, in my opinion, is the fact that it has these measurements in them. I'm going to insert B-roll so you have a better look. So that's where you can actually use this to properly ascertain the right dosage of fertilizer for your plants, and you don't end up over fertilizing your plants as well. I know right now I sound like a crazy watering can salesperson, but honestly, I have come to realize that the way a watering can is engineered, it's an often overlooked aspect in this hobby. And I'm hoping that this video will enable you know how to better go about shopping and buying an appropriate watering can, so you don't end up overwatering your plants or possibly even underwatering them. And I'm going to check Amazon US for my American girlies and see if I can insert a watering can that is similar to this, or even perhaps this exact one. So my loves, we have come to the end of this video. Oh my goodness, I hope you enjoyed it. I will admit I was a bit hard on you all, but sometimes tough love is necessary. Oh my goodness, tough love is necessary, especially in these times. Okay, I want you all to have a thriving collection in 2026, and I'm hoping that at least, if not all, but at least 1 or 2 things I've listed in this video will help you towards achieving that. Okay, if you like this video, please like and share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It is truly not easy being a plant YouTuber in my country. I don't want to start lamenting. It feels like every time I'm emotionally blackmailing you guys, I'm lamenting with you guys to subscribe to my channel. But it has not been easy at all. I'm struggling with electricity challenges. I'm literally shooting this video, praying and hoping that the electricity doesn't go off. We've had sporadic and inconsistent electricity pretty much all month, and honestly, it is taking a toll on me being consistent and my regular uploads. But I'm gonna try as much as possible to always show up regardless for you guys. All right, so yeah, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my YouTube membership girlies. Watch out for a new and very revealing and emotional video coming up soon. All right, okay. Now, for the rest of y'all that made it to the end, thank you so much, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.